Hello everyone, and welcome to Jumperman Tech, where we specialize in HVAC, we do everything DIY. And in today's video, we're going to be installing slick locks on a new van that I just bought. Thank you to everyone tuning into Jumperman Tech. It is a proud day. We're going to be installing slick locks in this new van, something like I have here. These are really great, and we need something to protect the vehicle. This is the Ford Transit Connect XL. This is a used vehicle that I purchased. It's from 2019 with 40,000 miles. I'm out here in New York City, and this originally came from North Carolina, so I'm feeling much better about having this thing come from North Carolina rather than Brooklyn or the Bronx, if you know what I'm saying. But this car is super clean. It already came with some nice features. We're gonna put some guards on these windows, cover it wide, and we're gonna do the logos. But this thing is awesome. It already came with shelving. I mean, this car is super clean. I mean, it's not even really scratched up. Whoever had this vehicle really took care of it. So I'm really feeling this little setup here. Really, it's you know what I'm saying, it's a beautiful thing right there. So we got sliding doors actually in this vehicle on both sides, but this thing is great. Seriously, this is perfect for Manhattan. Even the inside, super clean. Got the leather seats, got the guard, even got a nice little storage space up here. Really, this car is in great shape. I am really happy about this one. Of course, got my leak check in the front. All right, guys. I got a couple things for today. We're gonna be installing the slick locks and some window guards. So this fan right here came with our guard in the back. 3 awesome shelves. Love it. Got a couple little attachments. Everything is super clean. And we also do have a ladder rack, which is definitely useful in a vehicle of this size. It's actually a pretty good size, this XL, compared to my truck. Really, it's a beautiful vehicle. It's in great shape. I'm super happy about it. All right, so here are the window guards. We're gonna be covering this up. The other side's gonna be pretty much blacked out with a white sticker, and then we're gonna put the logos everywhere. And then these right here, these are the slick locks specifically for this van. And these come with 3. We're gonna have 2 sliding doors on each side, and then the 2 rear doors in the back. All right, so we got 3 puck locks, set of keys, a few brackets, some screws. These here, you can't really tell, but it's some stickers, I guess, to protect the paint on the vehicle, and a little bit of instructions. Never installed these before. Here we go. Not a fan of these instructions with no pictures, but it's cool that this door slides open like this. You have this available, but I feel like things are going to be flying over here. Probably put some sheet metal here or something. It looks like this right here. I'm going to use this existing screw here, and the side looks pretty easy to do. So we're pretty much gonna get that inside there and use this screw. I do have a Klein tool set here with all these little bits, but I also have this little set here. The screwdriver doesn't really fit in there properly. I don't want to strip anything. It says we're gonna be using a T27 star bit socket. So I got this set here, and this should be sufficient. Let's loosen up that screw. Okay, let's go ahead and get this started. Oh, that's coming out. Cool. Socket set with this attachment would be nice, honestly, but it's okay. Right here, we already got it loose. I could push this door with my foot a little bit more. Come on. We're gonna have to get a couple passes at this. It is actually pretty tight. Rightfully so. So let's just go ahead and loosen up this screw. All right, I got the screw out. Gonna have to find the right piece to put in here, which looks like this one, And I'm just gonna tighten this by hand and just, let's see, because this could be in different positions. You're gonna wanna make sure you're in a good position before you fully, you know, tighten that thing down. So let's see. Let's try to get this nicely set. And we're gonna, I guess we should test to see if the door is gonna properly close. Try to get this leveled, okay? I'm gonna see if I can attach this to my socket set, which I believe I should, but this honestly does the job. All right, we're in there. Let's slide the door, make sure we don't hit anything. Okay. Cool. That's there. That looks honestly pretty neat. Okay. That looks good. And as far as that little sticker they came with, looks like it goes behind this lock. All right. Looks good. Am I hitting anything? Oh no, the door's just fully open. Okay, cool. Guess that's just to protect it. That's cool. Use a pencil to slightly mark exactly where this was. I'm going to take it out, put the sticker, and then fully tighten it down. Got myself a little socket here. This is definitely the right tool you want to use here. Let's take this thing off. Alright, just make sure this area is nice and clean. Then we are going to apply the sticker, and it's clear. Okay. Cool. Now we can mount this back, match up our little markings, and tighten it down. There you go. Put the lock on. Beautiful. Does it actually work? Well, it does prevent the door from stopping and closing. Let's open that up. Back in business. Awesome. That is nice. Okay, as far as the other side door, pretty much gonna repeat the process, so it's not really any need to show that, but the back is a different setup. So let's go ahead and get this on there. There we go. Awesome. All right, now we got to focus on the rear door. This one is gonna be a little tricky because of this weather stripping here. So let's see. This piece right here. Okay. On my truck, they just chopped this whole thing right off. But there's a way to tuck this underneath of it. You'd still need to cut a piece of it, but you can tuck in the rest. So from what I'm seeing is that we're gonna put this here, and we're gonna place a marking here, and place a marking here, so we know where to cut, so everything lines up. This side is tricky, but the other side seems super simple. Try to do this with one hand. So see those two holes right here? Right there, just gonna line up like this. Super simple. Take out those screws, drop this one in, and you're gonna be good to go. It's just getting this one going. So the way this would be, aside from the weather stripping and lining things up, you're still gonna use this piece. You're gonna get this in behind and then put this piece on top of it. So I just use the pen to make that marking right here, and this piece somehow needs to be cut. So I'm gonna pull this out a little bit. Okay, let's see how we're gonna cut this thing. All right, I'm gonna use my Torx bit. Let's remove this thing. Let's move this place right here. We have a little bit more space for us to work, which Just 2 screws, loosen it up, and free things up. Here's the original screw, and I did come with some of these screws. This looks like the same thickness, but I think they added this to make up for the extra space because you're putting something on top. You want that thing to really reach, so we might need to use these. And then it also came with these right here with an Allen key, and I think that's gonna go on this side. So we're just gonna keep all the screws together, new ones with the new ones, old ones with the old piece. Make sure you put this back in the same direction. Okay, we got some more space. Let's see how we're gonna cut this. This is the only tricky part. I think it's just this thick part I'm removing, but the outside is a soft piece here and a really thick piece here, and I think that's the only thing we're gonna cut. I saw somewhere where they wanted you to cut this with some sheet metal cutters because there's like metal on this thing. Okay, I'm trying to follow the same design as what was there. Oh, this stuff is pretty thick. Yeah, there's some metal behind there. Let's see, maybe I could use a knife for part of this as well. Okay. On my truck, they just chopped this whole thing off with the weather stripping. I actually didn't really have an issue. I don't have any water damage or anything, but still, I'm gonna try to do this right. You know what I'm thinking? Milwaukee multi-tool. Probably cut this nice. I'm cutting it down the middle just so I can get some my way inside here. So I'm keeping this weather stripping on the side here and just cutting this metal out. Now I got that a little open. I think there we go. Now I got that. This is pretty good, honestly. Make sure everything is good in the end so the door actually closes. Alright, mess with this a little bit. Try to give it a clean cut. A little something like that. I don't know, we'll see. Alright, so I got a little something like this. So you would tuck this through. So you still have the weather stripping. And then you can mount this. It ain't perfect, but I mean, it's pretty close. At least I still got the weather stripping, unlike my truck, my other truck. Alright, so let's see. I need to trim this up a little bit more up top, and we'll get this thing in. Alright guys, this can slide through here. Make sure you do this part correctly. This striker plate goes in first and then the lock, okay? And then the lock. Now you're gonna have problems. So let's tighten up the screws and try this out. As far as this side, let's make sure which screws we're using. Those two. Let's just start by removing them. Okay, as far as those, yeah. Looks like this is what we need to remove with the other side. Looks like those are the screws that we're going to be using. It fit perfectly for the other side. I'm going to use what they included in the kit. Okay. This one I'm not gonna do super tight. So when I close the two doors, I need them to line up perfectly for this lock to match. Okay, this one you need Allen keys for this one. I don't know why they did so many different types of connections, like the type of tool you need, but whatever. All right, let's just tighten this down and see how things line up. Okay. All right, let's push this to the side. Now we got it right. Close that. Perfectly shot. Thank the Lord. Let's get this going. And there we have it. Slick locks. Nice. All right, as far as the windows, pay attention to this notch here. Okay. Rip off the sticker. And it's pretty self-explanatory. Just find the sweet spot to where this is kind of straight. The only issue I have is with that top piece over there, but you're pretty much gonna line this up, make some markings, right? Drill a hole in and zip the screws in. These 3/8 bits are kind of long, but I guess you have the space for it. All right, I marked it. Here goes nothing. Use some good drill bits, guys. This one's kind of worn out. Using a smaller drill bit here to start with. Just careful not to go through anything here. It's a little scary. There's some metal behind this thing. I might be hitting that, so I'm not gonna put a screw through that one. But let's see. Make sure this thing lines up right. Start with 2. Let's see how it goes. Just adjust this thing right. Just zip in those screws. What else can you do? Right there. Cool. Okay. All right. It's all going to be covered anyways. Just don't want anybody getting inside here. Fortunately, some of my older trucks, my windows got broken into 3 times, and unfortunately, a couple of those times, 2 out of the 3, I actually stole tools. But funny enough, the last time they broke the window but didn't realize I had a gate in there and they couldn't get in, so it was a bittersweet moment with that one. Ever since then, I got all the gates and everything. It's a long story, but it is what it is. That's awesome. All right, the only one I didn't go through was this one, because I know there's another piece of metal in there. It should be sufficient enough. With it blacked out on the back, you won't notice. Plus, now I got things in the garage, and we have 24-hour security guards here and cameras, so let's go. Here we go, round 2. Another piece of metal there, you gotta be careful in the back. I ain't messing with that. Alright, that's looking pretty awesome. And so is that. That's fully safe with the locks all around. Gate in the back over there. Yeah. Alright, that's looking great. We are fully secured in this truck. Ain't no one getting in through the back. But you know, without these locks and these gates behind the window, let's say they break the front window, all they gotta do is press a button and all this opens up. You're done. Or you know, you got this open and knock this window in, jump inside, and you're done again. So we're pretty much secure all ways around. Never leave anything important in the front. And this is awesome. I'm super excited. All right, everyone, we did it. We got slick locks on both sides, in the back with some gates on the windows. That's a beautiful thing right there. We got the separation gate in between. Got a nice shelving setup. I have more attachments and more customizations I'm going to do to the truck. Of course, we got the ladder rack on top. It's perfect for this size of van. This is not the regular Transit Connect. This is the Transit Connect XL, so it's longer than the typical one. So it's small enough and big enough that it's perfect for the city. So I also have some more stuff like a B tank holder, nitrogen tank holder, recovery tank holder. And stay tuned because we're going to be doing the lettering on this truck to match that one, and maybe a few little things here and there. But I'm super proud, I'm super happy, and I'm glad at least that this truck is now secure. We're going to wrap this video up here. If anyone found this video interesting or helpful, please drop a like, comment, and subscribe as I come out with new videos every week. Guys, looking slick, and I'll catch you all next time.